So, as you see the caption today, our life is a march to a victory never won. Yet another cryptic line from Book 2, Canto 6. As always, Sri Aurobindo first gives a paradoxical note, then afterwards he dwells in depth, taking all sides, all angles, and puts out the synthesis. So it's really beautiful to dwell on each and every line he writes, especially when it comes to Savitri. So first we'll just read out the passage. It's a long passage. First we'll read out, then we'll discuss about it. Our life is a march to a victory never won. This wave of being, longing for delight, this eager turmoil of unsatisfied strengths, these long, far files of forward-striving hopes, lift worshipping eyes to the blue void, cold heaven, looking for the golden hand that never came, the advent for which all creation waits, the beautiful visage of eternity that shall appear upon the roads of time. Yet, still to ourselves we say, rekindling faith, oh, surely one day he shall come to our cry. One day he shall create our life anew and utter the magic formula of peace and bring perfection to the scheme of things. One day he shall descend to life and earth, leaving the secrecy of the eternal doors into a world that cries to him for help, and bring the truth that sets the spirit free, the joy that is the baptism of the soul, the strength that is the outstretched arm of love. One day he shall lift his beauty's dreadful veil, impose delight on the world's beating heart, and bear his secret body of light and bliss. But now we strain to reach an unknown goal. There is no end of seeking and of birth. There is no end of dying and return. The life that wins its aim asks greater aims. The life that fails and dies must live again. Till it has found itself, it cannot cease. All must be done for which life and death were made. So this is the passage. It's so beautiful. So what he points out to, man strives always to fulfill his dreams by achieving this and that. And for this, his being seeks for delight. He puts all his strengths effectively, striving always, but without success. Or even if success comes, it is temporary in nature, as we always see. And his hopes also continues in the forward march, and he conceives of a heaven up there that can give him what he wants in life. And for that he prays to gods of that heaven. He also looks for a delivering hand of grace from above, which can do things for him, make him achieve things, feats, and rejoice in it. Then awaits advent of a new dawn, also birth of the immortal in this world of mortality. As we know very well that we are here on earth, which is the place where we cannot stay forever. But even then, we believe somewhere deep down that someday God will come down and what we presently believe it to be the mortal world, it also will change to immortality. Then again he says, yet still to ourselves we say, rekindling faith, oh, surely one day he shall come to our cry. One day he shall create our life anew and utter the magic formula of peace and bring perfection to the scheme of things. Although he is disappointed and frustrated, going through the vicissitudes of life, man still repeatedly affirms to himself his inborn faith that what he seeks, that is the divine's response, it will come someday and manifest and recreate his failing life. At present, he always fails. But somewhere deep down, there is a belief, firm belief, that finally he will come down and will take up all our being, all our thoughts, our actions, and remold us and win victory in us. And along with it, will bring peace to this world which is always in turmoil. Then one day he shall descend to life and earth, leaving the secrecy of the eternal doors, into a world that cries to him for help, and bring the truth that sets the spirit free, the joy that is the baptism of the soul, the strength that is the outstretched arm of love. So man has that faith, confident faith, that one day the divine will come down from his transcendent spheres to this world of turmoil and give us the humanity, the succor, and uplift us. Because for only then can the world be redeemed. For only truth can free the soul imprisoned in ignorance. Now we are already like prisoners. We are cordoned off by ignorance from which we cannot come out. But still we believe deep down that his coming, his advent to earth will change everything, and that can be done only if the divine bliss can bathe and purify our whole being. Divine love can come and take up our being. For it is only the flawless power of the divine love which can shatter all ignorance, all obstacles which we possess in our being, individually as well as collectively. Because it is through all the individuals taking together that makes the collectivity. So it can be possible only if the divine love, with the advent of the coming of the divine, it will be possible. So one day he shall lift his beauty's dreadful veil, impose delight on the world's beating heart, and bear his secret body of light and bliss. So he also believes, man also believes, that one day divine will freely manifest himself in the world and reveal his beauty, thus rending the veil of ugliness which he puts, or rather it is put as it is, as a cover, which in other words is the ignorance, and cast his delight on the aching heart of our life. But now we strain to reach an unknown goal. There is no end of seeking and of birth. There is no end of dying and return. The life that wins its aim asks greater aims. The life that fails and dies must live again. Till it has found itself, it cannot cease. All must be done for which life and death were made. So, this glorious manifestation of which he always hopes or yearns for is still far off. We do believe that a day will come when he will take up the whole play and change it for the better one and make it a life divine on earth. But still it is far off. Meanwhile, man must strive towards a goal which is not clear yet. And there is no respite also for man, because the moment he is born, he starts seeking to gain, to achieve, to fulfill of what we discussed in the starting itself. So he keeps on moving forward, striving to achieve, fails, then dies, then returns to the scene of his toil, that is earth, once again. And this journey becomes a perpetual journey. It continues until he succeeds in achieving the true fulfillment, that is the union with the divine, and also becoming the will and action of the divine on earth, because that is only the aim of the will of the divine. Otherwise, what we as man strives for here on earth, all these are the experiences through which he makes us realize that these are all child's play. That is why he restricts ourselves, giving innumerable hints, giving innumerable indications, and finally he fixes the date in the calendar, of course the subtle calendar, from which date one realizes with the grace of the divine that all that has been till now for which he has been striving were only footsteps towards the greater goal which awaits him, that is, becoming the divine himself. But till then, he has to strive. So even if he succeeds in something, achieving something on earth at present, his immediate aim is fulfilled. What happens? A greater aim arises before him, and it becomes a chain. So if he fails, he must try anew, come back again in the present birth or the next, and thus he finally realizes that all this is only a ground of preparation, and thus our life, human life, goes on earth till that date which has been fixed in the calendar, marked, although we might not be knowing, is marked in the deep cavern, the cavern of the psyche. So unless and until we reach our psychic being, it is well nigh impossible for us, even though we strive, always try to bring success in our life, all these successes are, or rather all these successes turn to failure at the end, compelling him to realize that it is something else for which he yearns for. That is why we normally jump from this to that, this to that, this to that. Then a day dawns, the moment dawns upon us when we realize that enough is enough, and we'll have to choose, we'll have to rather attune ourselves to the music, to the higher music that is being played, and sync with it, be one with it, and become the manifesting instrument. So that's all today. Jai Ma.